Hi, welcome to Real Times. My name is Carrie Obedzinski with TimesMicrowaveSystems, an Amphenol company, and this is Real Times. This is our vlog where we talk about industry trends, new products, and everything coax. With me today is Kevin Moyher, our Senior Product Manager, and today we're going to talk about connectors, specifically some of our LMR connectors, and the ones we like to call the EZ connectors, right? What are EZ connectors?
What's an easy connector? Just as it sounds, we try to make it as simple and as foolproof for the end customer as possible. We know a lot of times people are terminating cables in all kinds of adverse conditions and things like that. So there's so many variables that go into connectors typically. You're soldering pins and you know, uh, solder flow and excess solder, too little solder, flux residue, pin positioning, pin to core gap, things like that. So we try to take all that out of all those variables, remove those variables. What we do is use a beryllium copper spring finger, 4 fingers, and that just snaps onto the center conductor. There's no heat source being applied. There's no soldering. There's no excess solder. Um, that's really the core of the EZ. But then we go farther and we optimize the connector for environmental, mechanical, and electrical performance. We're always looking to make the lowest VSWR possible. Our LMR connectors are rated to 8 gigahertz. We're, we're looking, they're IP67, they're corrosion resistant, they have very high coupling nut proof torque. Also, in terms of the tensile strength to hold that connector onto the cable, you hear sometimes people say, "Oh, a connector fell off the cable." You're never going to see that with our connectors and our LMR cable. It's just tremendous amount of tensile strength there. So we're looking to just make it as easy as possible for the end customer, for them to realize just optimal performance with their RF interconnect. And by using the EZ style connector, that really gets you there. We do have solder connectors, we have TC connectors. If you're using the UltraFlex product, which is a stranded center conductor LMR, you'd be using a TC type product. But if you're using a solid center conductor product, we would recommend, going with the EZ connector, make your life simple, choosing all kinds of tough conditions and stuff. It's used, temperature ranges, vibration, is put through all kinds of tests. And the EZ connector is a real proven uh, product.
Well, like the easy connector, you made my interview pretty easy. I didn't have to ask you any questions. But so you talked about easy, and it's easy, not easy, but obviously you can understand the difference. And you talked about our TC connectors. Main difference, TC is you're gonna have to solder them. And why would somebody choose EZ over TC or TC over EZ?
Easy is easy. You've cut out those variables, many of the variables. TC, if you have a stranded center conductor, you're pretty much locked into the TC type connector. There are people out there that have been using TCs, and it's normal human nature.
Yeah,
You're using something for a long period of time, you get used to it, and you say, this is working for me. I don't want to
right.
change. So I think a lot of our customers that are still using TC type connectors, that's what it is. That's what they're used to, and they've been
Hmm.
using it for a long period of time. But over time, we see people making that change, and it really is the EZ is just more foolproof. There's not those variables involved.
Right.
If you have to do an installation over, say, a wide geographical area, and there's lots of these type applications, whether it's SCADA systems or wireless networks,
Hmm.
or all kinds of wireless networks, private networks. You have to train people, and that's a real challenge sometimes. But the EZ connector makes that so much simpler. You can, in a short period of time, you can take people that and really train them up and make them experts in putting the EZ connector on. And if you build a number of assemblies with the EZ connectors following, using our tools, our CST tools, you'll find that if you test them electrically, they'll all pretty much be the same in terms of VSWR. If you go to pull the connector off with equipment where you can measure what that tensile strength is, you'll see very consistent pull
Hmm.
strength. That's the type of stuff that you won't see with other connectors. Um, our TZ connectors, they're sister connectors to the EZ, so a lot of the same characteristics that we have in our EZ, we also have in our TC. The corrosion resistance, the coupling proof torque, the IP67. But there are connectors out there on the market for LMR that are manufactured by other people that have all types of weaknesses. So the EZ is kind of the top of the line. Low, there's no variables involved. It makes it easy for the end customer. If you do need a TC for UltraFlex, be confident that our TC connector has a lot of those same characteristics. Works with the tool, works with the boots, corrosion resistant, good pull strength. But if you've got a solid set of connector version, say LMR, LMR DB, LMR FR, and you have the opportunity to use the EZ, make your life simple. Use the EZ connector, get consistent results both electrically, mechanically, environmentally.
I heard you just had a customer call the other day that said those exact words to you.
Oh, we hear that all the time.
Yeah.
People say, I would never go back. I use the EZ connectors. You made my life so much easier. Why would anybody use anything besides the EZ connector? So, and I think that's, certainly I'm biased, but I think, I challenge anybody that works with coaxial cable and terminates coaxial cable on a regular basis. If you haven't used the EZ, use the EZ, the CST tool, the WSB boot, and you'll find that, coaxial cable termination will become very simple, very straightforward, very consistent.
And where can you find these?
Oh, from our authorized distributors. Go to our website, go to the resources tab. You'll find a list of our distributors, complete list alphabetically with all our contact information. And they supply all our cables, connectors, tools, and boots.
And you mentioned training. I think that's also available on the resources tab, where
yes,
customers can learn how to do the installation.
Yes, and any customer, if you have a number of installers, we're always glad to come out ourselves and support that. And we're always here in terms of phone number. Our phone number's on the cable. You call us, we'll help you, we'll support you. We're glad to do that.
Well, thanks, Kevin. That was easy. All right. If you have any more questions, or I can help in any other way, or Kevin can answer any questions, please reach out at realtimes@timesmicro.com. That's REELTIMES@timesmicro.com. And with that, thank you for watching Real Times. As always, stay safe, healthy, and well.